Hi YouTube, it's Janelle here. In this video, I want to do things a little bit differently. I want to start with a quick update. My last video that I posted last week was about a fire that went on in the building that I used to have an apartment in. And I just want to say thank you to every single one of you who sent me kind words and comments and messages last week and even through this week and weekend, because it was definitely a struggle to kind of get through that tough situation. But all of those kind words and messages definitely made me smile and just made a tough time that much easier to deal with. And thank goodness that, I've been a saver, and all these years I've been posting for the past 2 years on YouTube telling people you should have an emergency fund. You definitely should have 6 months rent. You never know when an emergency might happen. And then who knows? Who knew that, the emergency was going to happen to me? And so I just want to say, everything happens for a reason, and life is mysterious in all of its ways. But at the end of the day, like, being prepared for the emergency was just one more way that I feel like I could show you guys on the channel how important it is to really for me to practice what I preach. If I didn't have the money in my savings account, I probably would have had to create a GoFundMe or to go ask my family and friends to help me by giving me donations and money and gifts. And thank goodness I didn't have to really do that, because I was able to stand on my own 2 feet, given the fact that I've been saving for so long, and like that I'm in a better financial situation now than I've ever been. So definitely want to say that I'm so fortunate and so lucky, but also just so grateful to every single one of you guys for those comments and for those kind words. I had the awesome opportunity to go over and talk to the Sirius XM team over at AM with Amber, which is a podcast that's featured on Sirius XM's podcast app, which is called the Spoke app. So I definitely recommend every single one of you download the Spoke app so you can check out really cool podcasts. And they definitely have some awesome original content, like the podcast that I was able to go visit and check out. And I was able to hang out with the crew there, and I got to meet Amber, who hosts AM with Amber. And she's just so dope and just so awesome, so smart. And one of the things that drew me to kind of come over and do this visit and be featured on the podcast was that we have so much in common with our goals for the projects that we're working on. Because with AM with Amber, you can listen to an episode. It might be about current events or politics or whatever's going on in the world that the podcast episode is focusing on. But the way that Amber delivers the content is just so digestible. It's so easy to understand for young people who don't have like a ton of time but still want to be connected to what's going on in the world. And I think that's kind of how I am with my personal finance videos, because I realize a lot of people don't have all the time to go reading all these personal finance books and learning all of this crazy complicated content. So I try to take it and like put it in a very simple way and then put it on the channel, so anybody can take 10 or 15 minutes to learn something new that they wouldn't have had time to read a book that would take them a few days to read and to find that out. So I'm going to go ahead and post the podcast episode that I'm featured on, which I'm really excited to share. And it focuses around how to kind of think through holiday shopping, which I talked a little bit about. And I'm going to mention some of the things I've also mentioned on here on my channel, but also some new things, some strategies and some tools that you can use during the holiday season to really help you get through and stick to your budget and not go too crazy shopping and buying gifts and spending all kinds of money left and right. So definitely stay tuned and check that out.
Wake up to stay woke. From Spoke Studios, this is AM with Amber. We have a special holiday episode to get you and your bank account ready for the holidays. I sat down with YouTube financial guru MissBeHelpful, who has an incredible personal story of getting out of debt and staying out of debt.
Thanks for having me. I'm always so excited to talk about what I'm doing because I'm really passionate about this stuff. When I graduated college, I was very lucky because I did get like a full scholarship to college. Like I nerded out all through high school, and I really wanted to go to, a really good school. So I got a full scholarship. And when I graduated, I still managed to have like a bunch of debt because I didn't have enough money. Like my parents are, they're first generation immigrants and like didn't, have a ton of resources for us. And like for a lot of us growing up, like I have 8 brothers and sisters. So, big house, crazy situation. So you manage, right? You get by somehow. And then when I was in college, they were like, you're on your own. So I was like using credit cards to buy books and to buy art supplies and to buy clothes and food and go to the movies and shop a lot. And so it didn't really catch up to me until it sat with me when I had to pay it all back. So I graduated, I had about $15,000 worth of debt. And like for somebody out of college with a great degree, like that's not a really awful situation, but it's a lot for somebody who doesn't know how to manage money.
Right.
And so that was kind of like the wake up call for me. It was like, oh my gosh, like I'm making whatever little paycheck I'm making, I'm trying to pay my bills, and then I also have to pay down this, but it keeps growing with all the interest. So I really got serious. I started reading a bunch of personal finance books. And I got strict with myself. I had a really tight budget. I stopped going out to dinner, buying drinks, just like shopping. And I got really strict with myself, and I paid it all down in like a year. And then I was like, okay, now that I'm debt free in terms of credit card debt, now that that money that I was putting towards that debt, I can do stuff with. So like, what exactly should I be doing so that I don't go back to those old habits? Because it's so easy to get back trapped. So then that's when I started looking at investing and how to make your money grow and all that stuff. So and then I decided, okay, I need to put this stuff out there. Like, no one is teaching this to us. And it's so easy to make one little mistake that haunts you for 10, 15, 20, 30 years.
Yeah, me right here. I can't believe you paid off $15,000 worth of credit card debt in a year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was my first year working.
How did you live?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think I was making, like $40,000. I was teaching. It was my first year out of school. And so, like, every single time I got a paycheck, I paid, like, whatever, put money aside for what bills I had. I paid off my cell phone, like, whatever things I needed to get done. And then everything that was left, I would literally just put towards the credit card. And I was like, every single month, I was sending $400, $500, $600, just, like, putting it all towards the card.
Wow.
And, I mean, it really adds up. It adds up a lot. If you do $500 a month, you know, by the end of the year, you have a ton of money. You didn't realize little by little that it actually really stacks up. It definitely takes something that you want really badly enough to make you say, oh, you know what, the discipline actually isn't that hard for me because this is what I want so bad. So I think that's kind of where people have to get. They have to hit their own version of rock bottom to get to that point where they're like, nothing's going to stop me until I'm debt free, or nothing's going to stop me until I get this house, or until I do this thing, or, you know, reach that goal that I want.
Well, damn. All right. Well, I'm going to start with the holidays and see how I can get through that without stacking up more debt.
Yeah.
So what are your tips? What should we do?
Yeah, I mean, I think the first thing is, if you talking about how, you know, getting out of debt and that whole thing, if you're in debt right now, I always tell people, and it's really cheesy, but I have my little lines, stay in line, you know, and go free 99.
I love a mantra.
Come with
it.
Say it over and over again. Say it over and I gotta stay in line. Right? Like, this is my budget. This is my bottom line. I can't do things that are not gonna help me get where I wanna go. So for me, a big thing is that free 99. People think all kinds of things about it. You're cheap. You're this. You're low budget. You're frugal. You don't have any money. Whether you're doing things right or wrong, people are going to talk about you no matter what. So at the end of the day, you have to wake up and decide you like yourself enough. You don't need other people's likes. No. You don't need everyone else to like you. You're good. And so if you're secure in yourself and you're like, I really don't care what they say. Honestly, I'm at a point where I've decided my financial goals are the most important thing. So I'm not going to purchase gifts for people this year. I'm just not. It's not worth it for me. I'm going to go talk to the people that I love and find out what can I do for them. You know, think free ways. Dinner. You know, sometimes if you just cook dinner for your significant other, or give them like a special massage, a nice and romantic evening, do something that's like out of the norm. It's special. It's nice. It doesn't take away from your wallet or from your account, right? It doesn't affect your finances. But yeah, just thinking about other little things, writing a letter, like 100 different things that I really love about you, putting it together creatively, or a Spotify playlist of like 100 songs that make me think of you. Just little things that are so special that make people go, oh my gosh, I love that you took the time to sit down and put this together for me. Shows me that you really love me, right? But it doesn't mean you have to go buy my love. You don't have to buy me something and purchase things to show me that. And if you're not crafty and things like that, use other ways, you know, go over to someone's house and say, like, if it's like not your significant other, if it's like your sister or your brother or a brother-in-law, you say, hey, like, go out Friday night and I'll watch the kids for you. Or like, you know, to your grandma, like, hey, I'll come over on Sunday. I don't want you to move at all. Just tell me what you want me to do. I'll clean your closet. I'll clean your kitchen. Like, doing things for people it's like a service. It helps so much, and it's so much more impactful than a little trinket that I'm gonna put in my room, a picture frame, you know, whatever, candle. You know, it's like these things don't matter so much, but what you do for people really does matter. It goes a long way.
I think what you said too, like, your time is worth just as much as your money, if not more. I think that's a even bigger sacrifice when you can give your time to somebody, creating something special that's for them. That's a good idea.
Yep.
A lot of y'all might be getting free gifts.
Exactly. And the thing is, like, it's not even a bad thing, because some people won't be willing to put any time on you. They'll just go into the store and buy you a gift card or buy you this, and it's like, that's actually shows me you don't care about me. You just went in, you bought this thing, means nothing.
Check the box.
I'd rather you put in the time. But because you're, talking about time, because it does take time to really show someone that you care, you can't procrastinate. So I would say the second thing that's really important is first think about what you want to do that doesn't cost a ton of money, and then don't procrastinate on it. You have to start early because all of this stuff takes a lot of time to put together, to put thought into it, to make it, to plan it, to click on whatever things you want to put together, a list of blogs that somebody might enjoy. You have to go through and research the best blogs. You have to do the work. So don't procrastinate, because if you leave it for the last minute, you're just gonna end up adding more stress during an already stressful time where everyone's running around trying to get gifts and everyone's trying to do things and plan dinner and make sure everyone knows the plans and where we're going for dinner. It's like there's already stressful things going on for the holidays. Make it less stressful for yourself by planning early.
You got less than 40 days till Christmas, y'all.
Another thing that I would say is actually really important is if you do know that there's going to be, realistically speaking, a couple people that you do need to get a gift for. Your mom or your husband or whoever, those people that are these are my gems. I do need to absolutely get something though. If that's how you feel, fine. But then you need to be real with yourself and sit down and make a budget. You need to say, okay, these are the 5 people, these are the 11 people, whatever your number is. And my amount of money that I have to spend is $200. That's all I got. Yeah. So I'm gonna divide that by these 5 people. That gives me $40 per person. That's not a lot, but that's your budget. And so then you might wiggle it around and say, okay, well, actually I can do 20 on this person because they're my friend, but I know I can get something within the $20 range. So now I have $20 I can put towards my mom so that I can get her a $60 gift. That's where you start to finagle with it and play around with the numbers and make sure you don't go over, whatever your amount is, but you still are able to kind of get the most important core people in your life something small if you need to.
So let's talk about where to spend this money. So is Black Friday everything? Do we need to be out there 4 a.m. sticking to the budget, getting Walmart deals?
I think that there's a big gimmick around Black Friday and Cyber Monday because honestly, I think there's definitely some statistics out there that show that at the end of the day, the sales are not that different during those one-off big sale days compared to how they've been from October, November, and through December.
Really?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, one-off promotional big days like that, they're made to tempt people to come in and spend more money. Once you're in the door, you're gonna spend more money. Once you start picking things up, putting them in your cart, you'll see something else. Oh, what about that? Let me look at that. Then all of a sudden you walk out with a whole bunch of things you didn't even plan on buying.
Yeah.
So that's that get you in the door, trick, I think is what that's all about. For me, I would say if you 100% absolutely need to get yourself this one item for super cheap, like a computer or a television, whatever it is, that one thing, it might be worth it for you, but before you go and decide to do Cyber Monday, Cyber Monday's not as bad as Black Friday, but do your research, really price compare. There's so many resources online that if you sit down and really compare the prices, you would be able to find out has this been cheaper than they're advertising it on Black Friday anyway? You know what I mean? Because a lot of times you'll think this is so cheap because it's on this day, but it's probably elsewhere has been sold cheaper. So if you put in the time and really do the research, you'll know if it's worth it for you or if it's not. If there's other websites you can go where they're not charging shipping for the holidays and you can get things really cheap. You can Google Amazon deal finders and you can go online and look at when things are really, really cheap on Amazon. They'll send you notifications but these are all things you need to do in advance because if not, then you end up rushing and trying to get gifts at the last minute.
Time is your money.
Time
That's what she
literally
tells us, y'all. Time is your money.
Yes, exactly.
So another thing, sticking to the budget with buying gifts for people. What I'm thinking is if I have my card, I feel it's way easier to go over my budget. Would you say bringing cash would be a gem too for
I think for sure if you're somebody who's oh, the plastic is where I know the self-control is kind of hard to manage, then I would say yes, get your wallet, put in the $200 in cash that you're gonna spend, leave your credit card, leave your debit card, leave it at home. Don't even bring it because it's gonna put you in a position where you might go ahead and make a decision. And then, if you are out shopping and, you have a friend with you and you're tempted to add, I think what happens is you get to that point and you haven't prepped yourself for it. So beforehand, before you even go out, tell yourself, okay, there's gonna be a moment, I know myself, I'm going to get tempted to go off my plan. When that happens, because it will, what am I gonna do? I'm going to A, pick up the phone and call my mom and tell her to stop me because she knows my goals. Or B, I'm gonna walk out of the store, take a deep breath, remind myself of my goals, and go back in the store. But like, you have to tell yourself what you're gonna do, because then in the moment when you're tempted, you're like, you have strategies. You're not just like at a loss and giving into temptation. You're gonna be able to do what you plan to do in that moment. But some people don't prepare themselves for that. They're like, I'm just gonna spend $200, I'll be fine. And then when the moment comes, they didn't think about it, they didn't prepare. It's kind of like visualizing yourself making the mistake and prepping yourself to not make it.
Oof,
yes.
That's good. That's a really good point. Having a support system to stop you.
Yes, that's really
good. That's really good.
Yeah, because hearing someone's voice on the other end being like, you told me you wanted to pay off that credit card. That's what you said to me. Here's what you said. I'm reading it back to you verbatim what you said you wanted. How bad do you want it, right? And then it's like, oh, you're right. Oh my God. You know, it's like sometimes you just need that person to tell you, snap out of it, right? Yeah.
Okay, y'all, get your mantra and your money ready. For more amazing finance tips, head over to MissBeHelpful's YouTube channel. There's a link in the bio of this story. Happy holidays.
That's the episode, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed recording it. Getting to meet the team over at AM with Amber at Sirius XM was so much fun, and I really want to do more projects like this. So if you liked it, just give it a thumbs up below and let me know that you liked it. Comment and let me know if you enjoyed it, and if you'd like to see more cool projects like this on the channel. I'm definitely going to be trying to connect with other people doing really cool, awesome work. And if you really liked the podcast episode, or you liked AM with Amber and her style, definitely go over either to iTunes or the Google Store and download the Spoke app from Sirius XM so you can get more really cool content, different podcasts, and get all of that right to your phone. So that's all I have for you guys. If you have any emails that you want to send me, you can do that to missbehelpful@gmail.com. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and share with people that you think might enjoy the channel. And that's all I have. So till next time, peace.